Mankind's quest for freedom is constant. Freedom from the cycles of night and day, loss and gain, birth and death. Freedom from pain, anxiety, loss and hunger. This quest for freedom has led to the development of all world religions and spiritual paths. Yet, in these modern times, our spiritual challenges are on the rise as we struggle with our own humanity. Of the multiple ways to gain higher knowledge, one path offers its faithful a practical discipline to gain freedom. Jainism, a path of compassion and non-violence. Of generosity and inclusivity, it offers solutions to daily struggles and a chance to become a Jaina, the ultimate victor.
आज पूरी दुनिया को इसी की ज़रूरत है। ये जो जैन दर्शन है, ख़ास तौर से अहिंसा का, जियो और जीने दो का, ये पूरी दुनिया इसी के लिए जद्दोजहद कर रही है।
जैन धर्म ये कोई धर्म नहीं है, ये एक फिलॉसफी है, ये वे ऑफ लाइफ है।
हमारे जो जैन धर्म में जो भगवान के सिद्धांत है वो है अहिंसा परमो धर्म। हम हिंसा में नहीं मानते हैं।
And contrary to several Western philosophies, in Jainism, man is not the only center of life.
What is important is your karma. You are the writer of your own destiny. You are the writer of your own future. You are the writer of your own history. That is called the Navkar tradition.
You do not find black and white answers. There are always many facets to a problem, and you have to understand all of these facets before coming to a judgment.
जो आज हिंसा का जो तांडव है, जो भूखमरी है, वो सब के सब दूर हो जाएंगे। एक भी व्यक्ति अगर इसने उसको गहरा अध्ययन कर लिया, तो मंदिर से बनाने से भी ज़्यादा एक मनुष्य अगर हिंसा से अहिंसा में परिवर्तित हो जाता है, तो ये हमारी सबसे बड़ी जीत हो जाएंगी।
I am very impressed with the Jain philosophy because it is based on three aspects. One is non-violence, अहिंसा, non-violence. Second is कि आप उतना ही इस्तेमाल करिए जितना कि आपको ज़रूरत है, उससे ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल ना करिए। और तीसरा कि अगर किसी और का विचार, सोच विचार आपसे अलग हैं, तो आप उससे झगड़ा ना करें। आप ये बात माने कि उसका भी एक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है और उसको अधिकार है अपना अलग पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू रखने का। ये सारे वैल्यूज़ हैं जैनिज़्म के जो पढ़ के मुझे बड़ा मैं खुश हुआ, बड़ा इम्प्रेस हुआ ये जानकर। इससे मुझे सीखने को मिला।
Jainism. It's a religion that is thousands of years old and is still today practiced by nearly 5 million Indians and thousands of global faithfuls. Amongst this small yet powerful population are some of India's greatest artists, thinkers, businessmen and women, leaders and creators. The Jain community tops the charts in literacy in India at over 94%. Far outstripping the national average of 65%. Jains are also amongst the largest contributors to India's GDP, leading from the front in its economic progress. The Jain lifestyle has proven to be one of the healthiest, with the average lifespan exceeding the national average. And the Jain emphasis on non-violent discipline has proven inspirational to iconic world leaders from Mahatma Gandhi to Martin Luther King. So, who are the Jains? And what is this world religion we call Jainism?
ये ज्ञान हमेशा के लिए उसका एक ही बात है, जहाँ आत्मा है वहाँ ज्ञान है। आत्मा हमेशा का है तो ज्ञान भी हमेशा के लिए रहने वाला है। और जैन फिलोसॉफी के जो भी प्रिंसिपल है हमेशा के लिए रहेंगे।
There is no precise date to herald the beginning of Jainism. Different eras over thousands of years saw the emergence of great thinkers and reformers who built the road to present-day Jainism. These were neither gods nor divinely ordained, but each of them, through austerities, penance, spiritual work and visions, attained ultimate freedom from birth and death. In doing so, they shared with us their knowledge. These were the 24 Teerthankaras. In lore and scriptures, they are also referred to as Arihants, or destroyer of inner enemies, and Vitragis, or ones who harbor neither attachment nor animosity towards another. Then, approximately 2,600 years ago, came the 24th Teerthankar, Mahavir, perhaps the most significant Jain personage in the contemporary world.
First of all, I consider Teerthankar Mahavir as one of the greatest social reformer and the spiritual reformer. 2,600 years back, he said no caste system. There is no caste hierarchy. Nobody is above others. Nobody is better than others. All are equal. The second, he always believed there should not be any gender discrimination. What we talk right now has been propounded by him 2,600 years back. On the spiritual aspect, that was a time when people started believing in gods to either have the favor or the curse or whatever it is. For all happiness, they have always looked to somebody who is supernatural. Teerthankar Mahavir here was the one person who said, that's not important. What is important is your karma. You are the writer of your own destiny. You are the writer of your own future. You are the writer of your own history.
Mahavir was born as Prince Vardhaman, of royal lineage, wanting for no luxury of the material world. And yet, his seeking heart led him to leave home at 30 years, seeking truths that would only come from great austerity. He renounced all possessions, owning not even a bowl for collecting alms or drinking water. He stopped all practices that would harm other life forms. He would let insects crawl or bite his body, patiently enduring the pain. He was often ridiculed and abused by others, but he maintained equanimity. He fasted often. When he ate, it was always the preparations or leftovers of others. Through it all, he meditated deeply, seeking eternal knowledge. In the 12th year of his asceticism, he is believed to have attained Keval Gyan, the highest plane of mystical and metaphysical awareness. Once enlightened, he set about building the foundation of contemporary Jain tradition.
The influence of these teachings, first of all, led to the construction of the first monastic tradition of the world. I don't know whether there's any earlier monastic organization, but I don't think so. And that is very, very significant in historical terms, even more so because the Jains also gave women the opportunity to become mendicants.
The teachings of Mahavir brought about a wave of social reform, one that centuries later is still touching lives with its healing message of compassion. Ahimsa, or non-violence, is at its heart.
किसी भी जीव को मारना नहीं। आपको प्राण देने का अधिकार नहीं है तो प्राण लेने का अधिकार कहाँ से लाए? अपने जीवन में एक छोटी सी सोई भोगते हो, कितनी वेदना होती है, तो किसी भी प्राणी को मारना, उसको न्याय कैसे कहना?
Jainism suggests that all living beings have a soul and are deserving of a life free of pain. and hence it becomes a moral imperative to practice kindness and non-violence in every aspect of life. This is the very bedrock of the Jaina way.
Other religions teach ahimsa as well, Hinduism and Buddhism and so on. But the Jains are more focused on strict conduct. They don't just talk about ahimsa in general, but they want to, they give us criteria how to measure our conduct, in mind, speech and body and so on and so forth. And that is a very, very good contribution and an education to learn.
Often the first image one associates with Jain ahimsa is of austere monks and nuns, who only eat the simplest of vegetarian foods donated to them, who only wear basic organic clothing. They do not use any transportation except their own feet, even to walk long distances. And many wear masks over their mouths so as not to harm any living being with their breath. But one needn't be an ascetic to experience the power of ahimsa. It is the same principle when adopted by millions of Indians which defeated 300 years of British imperial rule. And it is the same principle that contemporary Jains practice even today, in different forms, especially in their daily routine and diets. In this cruelty-free lifestyle, all practicing Jains are strict vegetarians, vowing never to harm life. This means that even root vegetables found by digging the soil, like onion, garlic, radish, carrots and mushrooms, etc., are forbidden. It is prescribed that the last meal of the day must be taken before sunset. Fasting, as a means of cleansing, is also practiced regularly. In fact, these principles are now prescribed beyond the Jain world by nutritionists and medical doctors as a means to achieve good physical, mental and emotional health.
हमारे शास्त्रों में लिखा है, हमारे बुजुर्गों ने लिखा है, हमारे माता पिता ने, हम जब बड़े हो रहे थे हमको तब से ये सिखाया है। ये अलग बात है कि आप सब लोग भूल रहे हैं, कई लोग भूल रहे हैं, इसे पकड़ के रखिए। ये तो बहुत अच्छी बात है कि आप अगर 6 सूर्यास्त से पहले अगर आप अपना खाना भोजन कर लें, एंड उसके फायदे बहुत हैं।
Beyond dietary concerns, Jain values like ahimsa even influence one's professional ethics, no matter how high they climb on the ladder of success. In India, some of the top business leaders, trade and finance wizards, corporate giants and jewelers hail from the Jain community. Despite being surrounded by wealth and immersed in the high-stakes world of profit and loss, Jainism's value system offers practitioners a constant ethical guide.
I think there is no contradiction. We have to make a living. We have to be competitive. And as long as in whatever we do, we are sensitive to others and we are willing to help others, I think it is fine. There is this great concept, not only in Jainism, but also in India, in the basic Indian thought of aparigraha. Aparigraha means please have a limit about whatever your wants are. It's an extraordinary thing. Even if I said I will become a trillionaire, I must stop after a trillionaire. It's a very subtle point. And the subtle point is that if you are controlled by greed, you will never get free from it. But if you put a limit on your greed, you are accepting a limit on your mind and on your greed. And also mind point of view, imposing limits on your mind, on what you want to consume through your senses, is hugely beneficial.
Jainism places responsibility for proper conduct not on a god or extraterrestrial divine being, but on the individual themselves. Its prescription is a practical guide for daily life. Ahimsa, non-violence. Satya, truth; Asteya, non-stealing; Brahmacharya, celibacy; and Aparigraha, non-possessiveness. How does one practice these values in an increasingly materialistic world that rests on desire and acquisition? How does one reconcile the paradox? In Jainism, there is a way for all, and each individual practices the 5 siddhants in the most ideal way for them.
To say that all Jains practice this would be, or I practiced all of that at all points of time, would be false. But I think as I grew up, we had a greater understanding. The fact that my partner was also a Jain, and both of us have extraordinary fathers who were deeply spiritual, contented, very inspiring. It was easy for us to adopt a lot of those principles. So for example, very early on we decided that we will not support, invest, in any manner deal in companies which were violative of environment, which were into liquor, which were into pesticides, which were into hoteling, gambling, and so on. So anything which we thought was anti-life.
Why do Jains place compassion at the center of all their actions? One reason is their belief in the causal cycle of life and death and rebirth, a journey of the soul which is governed by karma. To understand the relation between karma and soul, Acharya Somadev from the 10th century AD offers an analogy. It is just like a person sitting in a boat. The boat takes him in whichever direction he steers. This means that one's actions drive the boat of one's life. And the more care we take not to harm others, the better will be our destination. And so, Jains have a system of accountability built into their rituals, including one of the most auspicious festivals in their calendar, the 8 to 10-day observance of Pariyusham. Embedded within the ritual prayers and readings is a very special event, the Day of Seeking Forgiveness or Kshama.
I think this is extremely touching to see, and can these things be taught? I suppose at least students should know about the importance of forgiveness. When so much aggression is stored up, because of minor incidents and felt insults of the ego and so on, which may produce all kinds of outbursts of violence. If the single word of sorry, in a way, in an English manner of speaking, can solve so many problems.
क्षमा का विषय कैसा है? मैं तो ये कहता हूँ, भूल करने वाला, भूल को समझने वाला और भूल को सुधार कर भूल को स्वीकारने वाला। क्षमा किसको कहना? लेट गो। कोई भी बात को पकड़ के नहीं रखना, शब्दों को पकड़ के नहीं रखना, उसी का नाम क्षमा। हमारी भाषा में संस्कृत में कहते क्षीयते मान, मान जिसका नाश हो गया उसी का नाम क्षमा। और क्षमा एक ऐसा है तत्व, आदमी को परम पितामह बना सकता है।
Palitana in Bhavnagar, Gujarat. Jains from all over the world converge here year after year, visiting temples and renewing their spiritual energies. For a religion that does not believe in God, Jain temples become places for spiritual communion, to renew their resolve to follow the righteous path.
As far as Hindu philosophy is concerned, you say you are merging with the divine, you are asking everything. In Jainism, we visit temple just to acquire the qualities of the divine and not to ask anything for material life. So that makes it unique because you are visiting temple not for material gains but for spiritual gains.
उठ के मॉर्निंग में परमात्मा की हम लोग पूजा करते हैं, पूजा पाठ करते हैं, मंदिर में जाते हैं, तो एक तरह की माइंड को जो एक एनर्जी जो चाहिए, एक वाइब्रेशन चाहिए, वो हमको मिलता है.
It isn't just the faithful who draw from Jain temples. Academics and Jainologists study them to trace the history of the religion.
It is showing how ancient the Jaina history is, because these are all the historical evidences which prove how ancient Jainism was and how it survived with other traditions. We get the examples starting from 3rd century BC from Patna, that is Patliputra, then we find in Orissa, and it travelled to western part of India, northwest during the Kushana period. After Kushana period, we find Jainism migrated to Rajasthan, Gujarat, where we find number of Jain temples, and Madhya Pradesh. So majority of the temples were there, and equally important are the Jaina sites in South India, because in 3rd century BC, we find one of the Acharyas, Bhadrabahu. He migrated with 16,000 monks, and Chandragupta Maurya, the great Mauryan emperor, they migrated to a place called Canara, where presently you have the Shravanbelgoda, the huge Bahubali image.
While architecturally, Jain temples don't differ much from Hindu sanctums, their artistic details and depictions of iconography are heavily informed by Jain scriptures and beliefs.
The image has to be always in youth. You can never show Jain Teerthankar as a child or as an old person. He has to be shown as youth, and he has to be shown passionless. And this is very important as far as the aesthetic sense is concerned, because the Jaina images depict Shantaras.
Jain temples often have a special chamber called Antral. It is here that one symbolically sheds the material world and shifts into spiritual realms.
Now this portion is Antarala. This is very, very unique because it shows that how there is transition in the mind. When you come to temple from the mundane world to spiritual world, this is the place which takes you to the spiritual realm.
In a temple without God, in a philosophy emphasizing transition of the mind, and a religion that guides instead of dictates, the Jaina path offers a route to different kinds of happiness, be it physical, mental, emotional, financial, or societal. In fact, scholars around the world are fascinated by various aspects of Jainism, both for its philosophical ideas as well as its relevance to some of our most pressing modern-day concerns.
I think Jainism can appeal to young people for different reasons, because Jainism actually addresses some issues which are really relevant in contemporary times. For example, Jainism addresses ecology, environment, how the human beings are located in this environment, and contrary to several Western philosophies, in Jainism, man is not the only center of life. There is life all around.
मैं ये मानता हूं कि एनवायरनमेंट का प्रोटेक्शन होना चाहिए, और इसलिए हमने हमारी लाइफस्टाइल बदलनी चाहिए, और इसकी दिशा में जाना पड़ेगा, और जाना वहीं पड़ेगा जो भगवान महावीर कह के गए हैं, उसी रास्तों पे जाना पड़ेगा. मान के चलिए साहब.
Environmental ethics are encoded in Jain texts or agams that lay down 5 elements: Prithvi, the earth; Vayu, air; Jal, water; Agni, fire; and Akash, the sky or ether. Texts like the Ajaranga Sutra contain Lord Mahavir's warnings of what might happen if our natural resources are polluted to the point of becoming weapons to destroy life. Other scriptures lay out the deeply logical and scientific philosophy of Jainism. Many of them are still being translated from Prakrit and Sanskrit and have gained attention from top global academics.
We hardly have scratched the surface. There are so many texts that have not been translated in any language, be it Hindi, Gujarati, or even Indian languages, and haven't been studied properly. So a lot of catching up has to be done, and a lot of students should be motivated to go into this field.
I'm interested in, and that's because of my background, interest between in debate between different philosophers, Buddhist, Hindu, and Jain philosophers, especially during the medieval times. But I'm also interested in how the Jains have managed to survive in India, which Buddhism did not. They have been very, very skilled. So irrespective if it was Hindu kings or Buddhist rulers or Muslim rulers, they have been able to survive, and not only that, also keeping their identity, culture and religious identity, and being able to practice their religion. So it's really a success history.
One of the most seminal Jain ideas that captivates Indian and international scholars alike is the Jain theory of reality and perception. Reality, according to the Jains, is not drawn from a single experience. It can have many facets, as this very famous fable tells us. According to this simple, humorous and insightful tale, there once were 6 blind men who were brought in front of an elephant. Each was asked to describe what an elephant might appear to be like in reality. One blind man gripped the elephant's trunk. "The elephant looks like a thick snake," he declared. The second man reached for the ear. "Oh no, it's definitely like a fan." The third man's hand swept across the massive foot. "Obviously, the elephant looks like a pillar." The fourth man was near the tail, which prompted him to describe the animal like a rope. The fifth blind man placed his hand on the torso and declared, "The elephant looks like a wall." The sixth touched the tusk and immediately imagined a spear-formed elephant. While each of the men were correct in their touch perception, they only experienced one side of the complete truth. None was able to comprehend the true nature of the elephant, which was a composite of each of their perspectives. As the 13th century Jain Acharya Mallisena wrote, immature people deny various aspects of truth. Deluded by the aspects they do understand, they deny the aspects they don't understand. This multiplicity of worldview is inherent Jain philosophy called Anekantvad.
Truth is never one-faceted, or the reality is never one-faceted. It is a multifaceted things. A truth also can be explained by the various views, and there are infinite views, and to respect everybody's views is very important. And when you respect everybody's views, what happens? A family which is happy, a society which is happy, a nation which is happy, and the whole universe is going to be happy.
व्यक्ति के विषय में आवे, वस्तु के विषय में आवे, अनेक दृष्टि अनेक धर्मों का समावेश, उसी का नाम अनेकांतवाद। एक ही धर्म को पकड़ के बैठना, उसी का नाम एकांतवाद। आज संघर्ष का एक ही कारण है, अपन एक दृष्टि को पकड़ के बैठते हैं।
This inherently logical Jain approach has greatly influenced critical, intuitive, and scientific thought through the ages. It is believed that Lord Mahavir himself was a great mathematician, leading to the Jain system of mathematics that includes a definition of infinity drawn from its cosmological view that time is eternal. Ancient Jains also did significant work in plant biology, being one of the earliest to recognize that plants had life.
It's very interesting to know that 2600 years back, Teerthankar Mahavir spoke about microbes, spoke about the plants having life. Not only that, he said earth, water and air are also living beings.
There are Jain academic treatises on microbiology, cosmology, theory of molecules, atoms and subatomic particles, theory of light, theory of relativity. Today, most of us are familiar with the work of Albert Einstein, Niels Bohr and Western scientists. But many believe some of these treatises were given thousands of years ago by Jain Teerthankaras.
There are two systems of knowledge. One is intuitive, second is empirical. So only if I find evidence about something by examining large number of samples will I deduce something to be true. Right? You understand what I'm saying? That I have to check again and again. Oh, that yes, chickens, eggs come from hens and eggs will hatch into chickens. I must check 1,000 times. And then there is this other aspect which Buddha and Mahavir demonstrated through their life, that yat pinde tat brahmande. Oh, what is in you is in the universe. So if you explored yourself, you will learn all the secrets of the universe.
One of the most profound fields of Jain science is sound, which, in records as far back as 2,600 years ago, is described as a wave produced by friction between two or more molecules or skandhas. According to Jainism, such is sound's ability to propagate that it can travel from one end of the universe to the other. Perhaps this is the power that manifests in the prayer that every practicing Jain knows deep in their heart, the Navkar Mantra.
इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि हम लोग जैन हैं इसलिए हम इसको कह रहे हैं कि ये बहुत अच्छी प्रार्थना है। हमें इससे अच्छी प्रार्थना कुछ लगती नहीं है, क्योंकि ये एक ऐसी प्रार्थना है जिसमें हम सबको नमन कर रहे हैं।
एक जो हमारे यहाँ वैदिक परंपरा है, जो हम प्रकृति की पूजा करते हैं, तो इस नवकार मंत्र में भी आप देखेंगे किसी भी ईश्वरीय शक्ति का नाम नहीं है, किसी तीर्थंकर का नाम नहीं है, किसी तथाकथित ईश्वर का नाम नहीं है।
हर प्रत्येक दर्जे पर, यानी अरिहंत से शुरू हुई है प्रार्थना, वहाँ से हम चलें तो सिद्ध पर आए, सिद्धों से आर्यों पर आए, आर्यों से उपाध्याय पर आए, तो आप देखेंगे कि पृथ्वी पर जितने भी हमारी कैटेगरीज हैं चर अचर जीवों की, उन सब के लिए वो प्रार्थना है।
एक और बात यह है कि जो देखिए बहुत गहरे में जाएंगे तो जैनिज़्म की एक विचार यह भी कहता है कि ईश्वर नहीं है। चीज़ें जो हो रही हैं आपके आसपास घटित, वो अपने नेचुरल कोर्स में हो रही है, उसको कोई कर नहीं रहा है। तो ये जो डूअर का जो सेंस है, इसको जैनिज़्म ने शुरू से ही नकार दिया है। हैपनिंग का तत्व है, तो ये जो हैपनिंग का तत्व है ये जैनिज़्म में बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, और इसीलिए ये पोस्ट मॉडर्न विचार है।
Since the Jain path does not stay stagnant in ancient tradition, its values are extremely relevant in the modern age, even though they carry echoes of asceticism which are carried over from ancient times. Like the practice of Deeksha, or taking up of arms by renouncing the material world. Often misinterpreted in a superficial manner, Deeksha is not just a ritual of renunciation, it is in fact the ultimate choice to attain true happiness and freedom.
Usually the mental training starts when we stay with our Guruji. His Vyakhyan is like boosting for us, and we rethink over whatever he says to us, and that is how we make our decisions stronger and we become mentally stronger.
मेरा टर्निंग पॉइंट गुरुकुलवास था। आई वॉज टोटली मटीरियलिस्टिक, पहले मुझे बिल्कुल इंटरेस्ट नहीं था इस फील्ड में, बट एक बार जो मैंने गुरुकुलवास में मैं गई सो टुडे आई एम हियर। और गुरुकुलवास में जाना इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि दीक्षा लेनी ही पड़ेगी। मेरा गोल ये नहीं था कि मैं दीक्षा लूँगी। माई गोल वॉज टू स्टडी ओवर हियर।
Well, I had participated in one of the largest exhibition that is called as Jot. In that Jot, Sahib Ji himself, our Guru Maharaj Sahib, he had given an 18 logical steps, a step of his soul. How is its journey from अज्ञान दशा से ज्ञान तरफ जाने का full journey बताया था. And all the 18 steps were very, very logical and clear. And studying those, I got a driving force.
Today, these seekers are on the threshold of giving up all they know as their world. Their social connections, upwardly mobile careers, material comforts, and even family relationships. They will shave their heads, wear only simple cloth, give up all modes of automated transportation, give up cooking food, and only live on alms. They will dedicate themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and ahimsa. Amongst those seeking Deeksha are young men and women with bright prospects in the professional and academic world. What makes them turn away from all that?
Of course, there is excitement because this is a new birth for me. And whoever takes Diksha, it's a new birth.
जब दीक्षा की बात आती है वो भी खुद की बेटी के लिए तो कोई भी खुश नहीं होता है. It took me around 15-20 days और I had to explain them the funda of freedom. So they told me कि चलो यार यहाँ पे रह के भी तुम कर सकते हो. If you don't want to get married, it's okay, but you stay with us and go into spiritual world. But I just had to tell them one sentence कि बंधन में रह के कभी भी मुक्ति की साधना नहीं हो सकती. So you say as living materialistic life or anything, I'll say no. I want to live a life where मैं सबके लिए happiness दे रही हूँ in return to get happiness. To care about each and every living organism.
I would like to say one thing कि अगर आप इस बात से डर रहे हो कि यहाँ पे बहुत छोड़ना है, बहुत त्याग है, तो it's not like that. यहाँ पे छोड़ना कम है और मिलता ज़्यादा है. इनर वर्च्यूज़ का डेवलपमेंट होता है एंड एक वो है कि आप अगर अंदर से खुश होते हो तो आप बाहर खुशी फैला सकते हो.
Whether one chooses an ascetic life or not, to be a Jain means to live mindfully and rationally with ahimsa in one's heart. And when one reaches the end of one's mortal life, the same principles apply. In Jainism, a person can actively choose to step away from old age and disease. In a process called santhara, they can gradually withdraw from food, medicine, or any other attachments that keep them bound to their mortal lives. In this way, they pave their own dignified path to death, which is seen merely as a transit into the next phase of a soul's existence.
ट्रेन में जाना है, बैठना है, दूसरे स्टेशन उतरना है, लेकिन वो बैग भरेगा, सब सामान साथ में लेगा, तो हो सकता है कि ट्रेन बिगड़ जाए तो उसको कोई चिंता नहीं. लेकिन जिन्होंने पूरी तैयारी नहीं की और गाड़ी आके चली गई, उसको डर लगता है. जिन्होंने अपने जीवन में कोई आशा नहीं, कोई अपेक्षा नहीं, उनको मौत का कोई डर नहीं.
From the beginning to the end of life, Jainism is truly a living religion that urges the individual to summon their highest self. There is no divine injunction and no God to fear. For Jainism offers happiness in the now. It breathes life into every living moment and gives everyone the power to transform themselves, reaching higher and higher to attain the ultimate goal, freedom, moksha.